In a small, bustling town surrounded by lush forests, there lived a young girl named Lila. Lila had a beautiful singing voice, but she never sang in front of anyone. She was known as the Silent Sparrow because she would only hum softly to herself while tending to her family's garden. Lila's silence wasn't by choice. When she was a child, she had been ridiculed by her classmates for her love of singing. They called her voice weird and annoying, and from that day on, Lila vowed never to sing again. She buried her passion deep inside, convinced that her voice didn't matter. One day, an old musician named Ravi arrived in town. He was a traveling performer who played the flute, and his music was said to heal hearts and inspire souls. Lila was drawn to his melodies and often watched him perform from a distance, her heart aching with longing. One evening, as Ravi packed up his flute after a performance, he noticed Lila lingering nearby. "You've been coming to my shows every day," he said with a kind smile. "Do you like music?" Lila nodded shyly but didn't say a word. Ravi's eyes twinkled. "There's something special about you," he said. "I can see it in your eyes. You have a story to tell, don't you?" Ravi began visiting Lila every day, teaching her about music and encouraging her to express herself. At first, Lila refused to sing, but Ravi was patient. He told her stories of his own struggles, how he had been laughed at when he first started playing the flute but never gave up. One day, Ravi handed Lila a small, handmade flute. "This is for you," he said. "Music isn't about being perfect. It's about letting your soul speak." Lila hesitated, but finally brought the flute to her lips. She played a single, shaky note. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. Ravi smiled. "That's it," he said. "Let your heart guide you." As Lila began to practice, her confidence grew. She started singing softly in the garden, her voice blending with the rustling leaves and chirping birds. But one day, a group of children overheard her and began to laugh. "She sounds like a dying cat," one of them shouted. Lila's heart shattered. She ran home and threw the flute into a corner, vowing never to touch it again. Ravi found her crying in the garden later that evening. "They don't understand," he said gently. "But that doesn't mean your voice isn't beautiful." Ravi convinced Lila to perform at the town's annual music festival. "This isn't about proving yourself to others," he said. "It's about sharing your gift with the world." On the day of the festival, Lila stood backstage, trembling with fear. Ravi handed her the flute and said, "Remember, the sparrow's song is small, but it fills the forest with life. Your voice matters." Lila stepped onto the stage, her heart pounding. She closed her eyes and began to sing. At first, her voice was soft and hesitant, but as she continued, it grew stronger and more confident. The crowd fell silent, captivated by the raw emotion in her voice. When she finished, the audience erupted into applause. Tears streamed down Lila's face as she realized that her voice had touched their hearts. From that day on, she was no longer the Silent Sparrow. She was the songbird who inspired others to find their own voices. Moral of the story: your voice matters, no matter how small or imperfect it may seem. Don't let fear or doubt silence your song. The world needs your unique melody.